Alright, my match reaction and player ratings after the defeat to Aston Villa at Villa Park this afternoon. I thought we were decent. It was a good performance. My overriding message to take from that, and probably Bournemouth as well, is that we're just too easy to score against. Teams don't have to work that hard to score against us, and teams don't have to be in control of games to get a goal against us. We can be doing the majority of things well, and overall our play is pretty decent, and a team can just score against us in a moment from nothing. And that was the case again today twice. Villa had no period of that game where they were the better team. Maybe the first few minutes I thought we actually looked very open in the first few minutes. They could have been 2-0 up, Villa, although Cunha had a half chance as well. But beyond that, we controlled the game. I thought the way that Amrim set the team up was good. The subs he made worked pretty well. The shape of the team looked decent. We looked a threat. We had a big chance, obviously, with Cunha at 2-1 down, which he's got to finish. He's got to bury. And a day when I don't think we can be too critical about anything. On the plus side, the fact that I said, teams score against us without having to have control. I would say we are starting to control games better, or certainly, maybe that's the wrong way of putting it, certainly play better in general. I think the overall performance today was good. The overall performance against Bournemouth was good. Of course, against Wolves, that was a slightly different opposition, but still, we played well that night. So I think we're actually playing all right. And considering we were missing, was it 6 or 7 players today, the team didn't look too short at all. I didn't look short of ideas, didn't look short on quality. But moments cost you in games. As I say, Villa started the game well, had a couple of chances. Heaven did well in those opening exchanges. I'll do player ratings in a minute, so I won't get into too many specifics on player performances in the overall synopsis. But we settled into the game and we started to knock the ball about. I thought the interplay between the forward players was pretty good. They scored a good goal. Morgan Rogers, it's a really good finish, but he miscontrols it. It goes out. He just about keeps the ball in, and from that position, you can criticise Yoro for not getting across and not showing him on the outside. But you also, if a player goes over, you always have a player covering, and we didn't have a player covering. So if he beats Yoro, there's no one else there, and that's where Ugarte or maybe even Dalot has to get over and be that second man to cover their teammate. But it's a great finish, to be fair. We equalised, and that was a scrappy goal. That was good work from Dorgu to keep persisting, and it falls to Cunha. It's a really smart finish from Cunha, and absolutely deserved to go in 1-1 at half time. Bruno came off injured. Martinez came into midfield. I thought that worked really well. And again, their goal really comes from nothing. It's from that same side of the pitch. Yoro is this time inside the box. He's obviously tempted to have a nibble, but doesn't, because he's probably going to give away a penalty. And then Morgan Rogers gets a run on him, and he's got to then throw himself at it, but it's too late, and Rogers scores. Am I being harsh by saying the keeper was a bit rooted and it wasn't right in the top corner? I'm not saying it was a howler by any stretch of the imagination, but the second goal wasn't as good as the first. We knocked on the door, we asked questions. Cunha had a great chance, as I said. He did throw a couple of the kids on. He brought Jack Fletcher on, he brought Shea Lacey on. The stuff that I've been asking for, basically, he did today. And we were a constant menace and threat right to the end of the game. And Villa would be, they're all like high-fiving, and, Emi Martinez walks off the pitch with a Villa Santa hat on. I'm not begrudging that at all, but it looked like they've won a bloody trophy. Villa had two moments really in the game, maybe a couple of moments early doors. That was it. They have not played well today. I think we're the much better team, but we've we've been beaten because of those details, and because of at the core, at our core, we're too soft. We've got too soft an underbelly. Let's go through player ratings, because I'm holding back saying certain things because I want to save it for the player ratings. So let's do that. Lemens, I'm gonna have to give him a 5. He had very little else to do other than the goals. The first goal's a great goal. The second goal, I'm not sure. I think he maybe can do a little bit better. So 5 for him. Back 3, Shaw, 7. Aidan Heaven, 7. Was good. Made 2 telling interventions in the first few minutes, which meant we weren't 2-0 down in the first few minutes of the game. Yoro, bad day for Yoro, 5. Right wing back Diogo Dalot, 7. Good performance, good on the ball. Can't complain. I thought it was a decent performance from him today. Moved into midfield at times and sort of made up an extra number there, but I thought it was good. He's done well recently. I'm not a massive fan of Dalot, but I think he's done well recently and continued that today. Left side Dorgu, game of 2 halves for me. First half I thought he was quite poor. I'd give him a 4 for his first half performance and probably a 7 for his second. So you meet somewhere in the middle and say maybe 6, I suppose, being generous. Just grew in confidence as the game wore on and put in a sumptuous cross for Cunha's header, which Cunha missed, and he got the assist, I think, for Cunha's goal as well. But in the first half, he was slow, he was sloppy, doesn't react quickly enough. He had a shot in the second half where the keeper, and the keeper didn't save it. Sorry, Matty Cash took one square in the stomach and it flattened him, and it's going out for a corner. And Matty Cash still has the time to get up and run and try to retrieve it while Dorgu's just stood there. And in the first half, there was a break right at the start of the game, so there's no excuse of tiredness. A break for Villa, and the ball came to the right-hand side there, attacking right, and Dorgu's not even in the picture. And as the move breaks down, he trots into the picture. It's like you've got to be busting your backside to get back in that situation. There's an awful lot to learn for the lad. But overall, his performance improved significantly in the second half, and I thought he was quite a decent threat down the left, so I'd give him a 6. Midfield, Bruno only played half a game, 6, did nothing wrong. I thought it was quite dangerous and Link played together quite nicely. I don't know, it looks like a hamstring injury, which normally is at least 3 weeks, so it'll be interesting to see how we get on without him. Ugarte started quite poorly, but I thought again grew into the game, used the ball pretty nicely, broke up play, which is what he's in the team to do. Positionally got better as the game wore on. You could see his confidence growing. There was a couple of times he took the ball, wasn't anything on, and he moved it forward 10 yards, running with it, which he doesn't normally do. He's not particularly good on the ball. You can't say he's something he's not, but I thought it was a steady performance from him today, so I'd give him a 6. Martinez obviously came on at half time. I thought played really well in the centre of the midfield, 7. I remember having a conversation about this in his first season when Casemiro was suspended. I thought I'm sure we're playing Arsenal away. And I said I thought he should play Martinez in the holding midfield role. So it's been a conversation for a while, and he almost ran out of options but to do that today. And yeah, I thought he was very, very steady, broke up play quite nicely, used his defender's instinct. I thought he used the ball well. He had a shot which was a bit wayward, but he's a decent ball player as well, Martinez. On the ball he's pretty good, so maybe we might see more of him in that position. With Shaw staying fit at the moment, you don't really need Martinez in that back 3, and I think we probably, even if Bruno was fit and we had all our players available, I'd like to see Martinez maybe in the midfield. It's not ideal, but it's maybe a better option than what we've got. So good performance from him, and it's maybe a little an enlightening day for Amorim to see him play in that role and do so well. Cunha, mixed day for Cunha. He's a weird one, Cunha. At times he looks like he's almost fighting to keep the ball under control, like he's running. His running style is quite erratic, and the ball seems to be kind of on the verge of getting away from him at any moment in time. And yet then you look at it, you think he's just dragged us 20 yards up the pitch with the ball at his feet, with players trying to kick him and pull him and all that kind of stuff, and he's deceiving in that respect. But there's a few basic things I thought he did quite poorly. He gave the ball away needlessly on a couple of occasions. The header is a gilt-edged chance, but then his goal is a really smartly taken goal. He does just create those little moments where he creates a little half yard for himself, and he's not afraid to, if the ball can see the goal, smash it. Perhaps a little bit, as I say, erratic at times, but so I give him a 6 today. But I think there's something in Cunha. I think he could, and I hope this does happen, he could ignite at United, and I think if he does, he could be a special player for us. I think he's got the right temperament for it. But 6 today. Mount, I'll go 6.5. I was going to say 7, but maybe he doesn't justify a 7. I have to hold my hands up. I said not that long ago, probably last season, Mason Mount, I'm going to own this, I said is one of United's worst signings. Not because I don't like the lad, but because it made no sense. We've got Bruno, who already plays in his position. He'd had a terrible injury record the year before at Chelsea. He was in his last year of his contract, and we spent nearly 60 million quid on him in a summer when we desperately needed other areas of the pitch reinforced. It was a weird signing, and I still maintain it was a weird signing. But I must say, and this, Amorim doesn't get a lot of credit from anyone, and he doesn't get a lot of credit recently from me in terms of decisions on the pitch, but I have to say, he has reinvigorated Mason Mount, or maybe Mason Mount's reinvigorated him. But there's a space for him in the team with the shape of the team the way it is. And Mount, if he stays fit, can be a really big player for us this season, because he is so clever on the ball. He can spot passes that I don't think others can spot. His link play is really, really good. His ability to do things that are off the cuff is quite different to other players that we've got. He's a flair player, but he doesn't do silly things. He doesn't give the ball away needlessly from trying something that's not on. He's a flair player that tends to do it when it's on. His decision making is good. So 6.5 today, but again, encouraging signs from Mount for me. Šeško, again, I hope I'm ending up being wrong about him, but I just do not see this at all with him. I really, really don't. I do not see a £60 million player. It's not his fault that he cost that amount, but I see a laboured, awkward-looking player who makes poor decisions. The ball was put through to him, and I think it was on for him to shoot on his left foot, and instead he took the ball away on his right hand side, but he booted it over, and in the end it went out for a goal kick when I think he took it around Martinez and Matty Cash collided with each other. So it was a terrible touch, but also it was on for him to shoot. I don't know why he did that. He had another moment where he was through and he took too long, and the keeper came out and smothered him. His movement's all right. I don't get it. I don't get it at all at the moment. And I don't think we are now a team that never service the striker, because you've got your likes of Mount and Cunha, and when he's on the pitch, Bruno, who are good players who can link things, and before that, of course, and Mbeumo and Ahmad as well, when we've got our full complement of players. So I'm only saying it as I see it. For me, with Šeško, I just do not see a £60 million player. I do not see a player who's going to score goals for Manchester United. I just hope that he gets one maybe that bobbles in off his arse or something like that, and it gets him going, and he starts to feel confident. He's probably going to play quite a lot of football in the next few weeks because we don't have many choices. So hopefully he can play through it. But I've mentioned before, when you don't start well as a young person at United, especially in a role as a striker, it can be hard after that. And it's all well and good in Jos going down this route of we're only signing players of a certain age profile, and we want to, we want to find the next Mbappe at a very young age rather than have to go and spend daft money on players. But you spent £60 million on a young player, but when you buy a young player and put them up front for Man United, you've got to know that they can handle that and that they're good enough and they have the quality. And I'm just not sure with him. 5. If I didn't say it already, I would give him a 5 today. The subs, Jack Fletcher came on with 20 minutes to go, which was nice to see. He was neat and tidy. He didn't do an awful lot, well or wrong, really. He looks a bit lightweight, I have to say, but it was nice to see him on the pitch. I'd give him a 6. Lacey was 7 minutes to go, I think, when Shay Lacey came on. Got a shot away. It's probably too harsh to give him a rating, really, because I don't think he was on the pitch for long enough. Xerxes linked play quite nicely, a couple of nice little touches. Again, he came on at the same time as Lacey, I think. Oh, no, sorry, he came on at the same time as Fletcher. I'd give him a 6. I've already spoken about Martinez. Any other subs? Where is that? I think that might be it. I don't know. If there's anyone else, sorry, I've forgot who else came on. It's annoying me now. I think that was it. I'm gonna have to just go through it. Martinez was the first one. Xerxes, Fletcher, Lacey, and maybe we didn't make a 5th sub. So, a defeat, and my concern is we're actually playing all right. We played well for long periods against Bournemouth. We played well today, and we've picked up 1 point out of those 2 games. I hope the team doesn't start dropping its head, because if we keep doing what we're doing at the moment, we might not beat Newcastle on Boxing Day. We will beat Wolves the game after that, and I don't know who we've got beyond that. I'm not looking too far ahead. But we'll be all right if we keep playing this way. Or certainly I think the fans will be on side if we keep playing like we're playing. It's not brilliant, but it's all right, and there's something you can get behind there. What I worry about is this becomes another season of drift, and when that happens, when you're not really playing for anything, psychologically, we can all say you're getting paid good money, you know, you're playing for progress, you're playing for pride, you're playing because you play for fucking Man United, you know, like we can say that, yeah. But the psychology of a sportsman playing at that level, you want to be playing for something, really. So I just hope we can. Boxing Day is a big game against Newcastle. I hope we can pull a rabbit out of a hat and get a result against. No, we're not going to get a result. We need to win against Newcastle, really, and then we need to win against Wolves, and that all of a sudden puts you right back in the conversation for top 5 or 6. Because as I say, there's some positive signs there, but those positive signs get very quickly evaporated if you keep losing and you keep dropping points. But overall, decent today. No complaints at all, other than we're just too easy to score against. Glazers out.